Hi everyone, I hope you're having a great Thursday. Happy spring. That's right, the vernal equinox, the start of the spring season, happened at 11:57 a.m. on this Thursday late morning. So because spring has sprung, let's take a look back at the harsh and rough winter of 2013 through 2014. First of all, we're going to start off with something that nailed it right on the head. And you know, people give a lot of credit to the Farmer's Almanac. There are two different Farmer's Almanacs. There's the Farmer's Almanac and then there's the Old Farmer's Almanac. The one I'm going to show you right now is the Old Farmer's Almanac, 2013 to 2014. There was their prediction right over northwest Arkansas, cold and snowy. That not hit it right on the head, so congratulations to that. I'm also going to give you a recap on the weather systems as well as talk about some winter folklore. So let's get started. The Farmer's Almanac, which is a different one than what I showed you, showed the winter outlook for 2014 was frosty and unusually wet, but didn't really say that we would have above normal snowfall. One thing I will mention is that the West Coast was not cold and wet or cool with near normal precipitation, so both Farmer's Almanacs did not get the West Coast forecast very well at all. In fact, it was extremely warm, record heat, which is why the winter wasn't the coldest on record for the nation on average. It was also very dry as well. Let's talk about the persimmon seeds. This is interesting because in 2013 to 2014's winter, we saw a lot of snow, and more snow was happening in Benton County. So about every October, late October, we open up the persimmon seeds, and depending on what's inside, we'll tell you what type of weather you will get for the winter. The knife represents a cold, icy winter where the wind kind of cuts through you like a knife. A fork represents a mild winter with powdery snow. And the spoon represents a harsh, snowy winter, which of course the spoon represents a lot of shoveling. Now, what's interesting is you might think that this is all kind of fun and games, but really nature has a way of showing you what the weather will be like, because Benton County had a lot more snow than Washington County, even though Washington County saw snow, and there were a lot more spoons that were being opened up in Benton County. We opened them up on the air late October, and we got mixed signals. We got some spoons, we got a couple of forks, we also got a lot of knives as well. So the majority was spoons and knives, but the majority of the persimmon seeds in Benton County were in fact spoons. Let's also take a look at winter folklore revisited. And this is the number of fogs in August compared to the number of snows in winter. That's what the winter folklore says. You want to know how many times it's going to snow in August? Look at the number of snows. So in 2006, there were 4 days where the visibility was less than a half mile at Drake Field, which of course means 4 snowstorms. There were actually 5 major systems in 2006. 2007 only had 2 days with visibility less than a half a mile, so that actually equaled a little bit more. 4 winter systems. In 2008, 3 days where the visibility and fog developed in the morning. That equaled 4 major storms, including, of course, the major ice storm of January 26th to the 28th of 2009. The August of 2009 only had 1 day, and that was the exact opposite. So winter folklore isn't always right on the money. That brought a white Christmas in 2009, also significant snows, and in fact, as you will see, the winter of 2009 to 2010 does rank as the snowiest one on record. No days in 2010 for fog, but yet there were 5 significant snows. No days in 2011. There were 2 snows, but it was a very mild winter. Last winter had 3 days. We had a lot of snows, but they weren't very heavy. And the last one, this past winter, since we're now into spring, we had 4 days. And believe it or not, we have question marks there, but we had 4 major winter systems. In fact, I'll show you that with a recap. So in 2013, the winter really got started, and when we talk about meteorological winter, we're mentioning December, January, and February. The weather conditions brought a first light snow November 26th into the 27th. We had a trace of precipitation. However, it did get very cold for the end of December. This is right before Thanksgiving. Remember, it did warm up for Thanksgiving Day, but lows were in the teens, highs were in the 30s. Then on December 5th and 6th, that's a winter storm that we all remember. That was a freezing rain, sleet, and snowstorm. It also brought an ice storm in the river valley. The sleet and snow accumulations averaged out to about 6 to 12 inches, with Pea Ridge getting the most. Light snow and cold on December 22nd into the 23rd. There was no white Christmas the past December over the winter, last winter. However, there were 2 light snows for December 22nd into the 23rd. So we start off the beginning of January, and guess what? Another major cold blast with snow. In fact, the snow averaged from about 3 inches to nearly a foot. Also, the temperatures plunged below zero. We're talking -3 was the low for January 6th at Drake Field. Then at the start of February, we had a Super Bowl snowstorm. That brought heavy snow, 5 inches in Fayetteville. Other places picked up a lot more. February 4th and 6th, light snow and cold. However, it did remain cloudy and cold after that Super Bowl Sunday snow. You might remember that. It was snowing a few days after that. February 16th into the 22nd. It wasn't all cold, and there was a wonderful warm spell that we saw towards the middle and the end of February. That was the only real long, prolonged warm stretch for the northwest Arkansas River Valley area. Then we start off the beginning of March, and that brought thunder, sleet, and snow with sleet piles over a foot. So if we actually look at the records, we showed this on the news yesterday, but how do we rank in terms of previous winters? Well, you look at the mean temperature, which is the average of the high and low. We had 37.6 for the normal, and we were actually this winter 33.2. Now, when we say normal, we're talking about a 30-year period, 1981 through 2010. That actually ranks as the 5th coldest on record. The total snowfall, the normal, which is the new normal, 1981 through 2010, shows 5.4 inches for meteorological winter, which is December, January, and February. And up to February 28th, we actually had 14.1 inches. This does not include the March thunder sleet storm. That ranks as the 12th highest on record. Our top snowy seasons, you can see that the winter of 2009 to 2010 ranks as the snowiest one. And that does not include, by the way, the significant February 9th, 2011 snowstorm. That's a different winter. And then you'll see 2013, we had a lot of snow. Now, in the River Valley, this is interesting. River Valley wasn't quite as cold, about 23rd coldest on record, and the total snowfall actually tied with 24th of the snowiest winter seasons on record. So that's a little bit of a recap on our winter. Good riddance. We're done with you, winter, and we're looking forward to warmer weather. However, in the forecast, you'll notice that temperatures will be trending downhill. It's a beautiful day today. It will remain beautiful on your Friday. We've got some storms coming in. We're going to highlight all those deals coming up on the forecast at 5, 6, and 10 o'clock on KNWA. And, of course, Fox News Edge at 5:30 and 9. I hope you enjoyed this winter recap. Let's spring into spring.